Good morning, everyone. Happy early Valentine's Day to all of you. So today we are going to talk about honey mead. Okay, we will be talking about how to make honey mead at home. This would be the honey mead kit that you can get from Ariston, or you can buy it online as well. So the first question is, how do you make honey? So let's go with the instructions, right? The kit will come with the instructions. It's a very simple instruction, and on top, along with that, it will also come up with a simple logbook. If you can see the logbook, so the logbook is nothing but it allows you to enter what all things you did during the process, so that later on you can store it next year, or after some time when you try to make it again, you can refer to it. You can figure out what you did, what was right, what was wrong, and you can work on that. The problem with most of the wines and beer making is it takes a lot of time. It's not like that the instant recipe that you get. So since it takes a lot of time, sometimes we forget when we started, how much time it took, what we added in how much quantity. Our memory fails us. So writing it down in a logbook helps you out. Okay, now coming to what all does the meat kit consists of. Okay. So let me open a kit for you. Okay. First, it will consist of a long nylon mesh. This is also called the hop socks. Okay. Basil, good morning to you too. Okay. Now, why do we use this? Now, typically, very few people like to make honey from as is. One. Secondly, the quality of honey that is available in the market is also has gone down. So it is always better to supplement the honey with something more flavorful. So one of the best things that you can supplement them would be organic flowers. I repeat the word organic. You cannot use the commercial flowers. Please understand that. Commercial flowers, for the beauty, to make it look big, they are sprayed with huge amounts of pesticides, fertilizers, and chemicals on it. All of these are toxic and they are not good for your health. One. Second thing is, if you look at the flower has a huge surface area compared to its weight. So since the surface area is very large, even a minor spray of pesticide, you will not be able to take it out. When it comes to the fruit, you can peel the fruit. When you peel the fruit, most of the pesticide which is on the surface goes away. It does not come to your food. But this has a large surface area and very light mass. So that means the amount of pesticide, the surface for the pesticide is too high for you. So that is the reason why go for organic flowers. Where can you find organic flowers? The best sources, go to your own garden. You have been seeing how your flowers have been growing in your own bagicha, and it also becomes a great story to tell. Now you can tomorrow when the Valentine's Day comes, you can talk to your spouse and tell him, okay, this is the process that I'm going through, and I took so much care in growing these flowers for you, and I took the freshest flowers. So you can build up an entire story around it to impress your loved ones. The second source would be you can have a friend who is growing it. The third and the most commonly source is go to a forest. Now, typically, any flower that is grown in the wild, nobody bothers to spray pesticides on them, right? You spray pesticides on the flowers that have been grown for the gifting purpose, for the bouquets, those kinds of purposes. Other flowers you do not spray. So if you pick it up something from the forest, most likely they would be free of pesticides. Okay, so these are the three sources. Now, if these three are not available, the fourth source is there are a lot of tea shops which have opened up, which will be selling you hibiscus tea, which will be selling you rose tea, tulsi tea. Like that, they have a good source of organic flowers with them. These are dried flowers, and you can purchase them from them, and you can store them as well. Fresh flowers is preferred, but if you can't find fresh flowers, you can always use dried flowers. So you can use, so this is like a socks. Actually, this is a sock. You can put as many flowers as you want. Spices also you can put in, and you can tie a knot like this. You can tie a knot. Once your knot is tied, nothing will go away. Your your entire wine and your container will remain clean. Now, how much quantity do you use? I typically use about 1 gram per liter of spices, and about 10 to 50 grams of flowers. Some you can always use more. There's no harm in that, but that's the ratio that I use it. Instead of 50, you can use 100, maybe 200. Beyond 200 might be a little bit overwhelming because the amount of deposits from the flowers is going to be too high for you. Okay, spices is 1 gram. You use very mild spices. I repeat, you use very mild spices in honey mead. The reason is honey has a very delicate flavor. It does not has an overwhelming flavor. So in the delicate flavor, if you add something which is overwhelming, then your delicate flavor, the entire process of you purchasing a very expensive forest grown unpasteurized honey, that entire the cost and the effort that you put in, that has gone to waste. So that's the reason why you try to keep honey mead as delicate as possible. Flowers is definitely, that's the reason why I'm talking to you about flowers, because no matter how much flowers you added, still the floral aromas, the floral color is going to be very mild, very subtle, which will complement your honey, which will not hamper it. If you have any questions, please feel free to type it. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. So we talked about how to add spices to it. Okay? We talked about honey. So honey, I would prefer that if you can get unpasteurized honey straight away from an apiary. Apiary is those big white color boxes that you will be seeing in the farms, wherein the farmers are harvesting and cultivating their own honey. So if you can get them directly from them, that is always good. You don't have to worry about pasteurization, filtration, because in the entire mead making process, that will automatically happen. Okay, we do not heat the honey as much as possible unless you believe that the honey is contaminated. Now, question that everybody asks is what kind of a container you would need to make honey mead. Okay, so you will be able to get these pickle containers. Kombucha is growing here, so don't worry about it. But these glass containers you will be able to get in almost anywhere in the country. These are called the pickle containers, pickle jars. You can get them for this is a 1 liter jar. You can get them in 2, 5, up to 10 liters. You can easily get them. Okay, any glass jar will do. If you don't have glass jars, you can use food grade plastic jars. Anything will do. Typically, I'll prefer something which has a plastic lid. I'll tell you the reason why. Firstly, it is very easy to pierce through a plastic lid. What you are going to do is you are going to take any hot nail, okay, put it on the gas stove. It becomes hot. So when it becomes hot, it starts melting the plastic. So you take that red hot nail and you touch it on here, okay, in the center. At the moment you touch it, the plastic will melt away. And when the plastic melts away, you will get a nice fine hole in it. Okay. Now, how if you are a little bit more technical, I would tell you the hole has to be of the size of 8 mm. Okay. In this kit, you will get this grommet. Okay, so this grommet you can see from here. I don't know. Yeah, you can see this grommet has a ridge in there, right? So what we are trying to do is we're going to place this in your plastic lid in such a way that half of this grommet is above the container, half of it is below the container. So that way you create a very tight seal. And then we are going to put nicely. We are going to pack and put this airlock on top of it. This has a cap with it. It's just nothing but an ornate cap because everybody was asking for this cap. And you're going to pour some little water in it. How much water? Till the halfway mark of this bubbler. So this will create like an airlock here. Okay, this water will create an airlock. The air from inside inside has can bubble through and go outside. The air from outside cannot come inside. Okay, so this is about the fermenter. Now the question is how much honey are you going to take? So this is a 1 kg honey jar. This is a commercial honey. I'm just for the demonstration purpose. I thought I'll just show you the commercial honey. If you can get a fresher forest honey, that is always preferred. Okay, 1 liter of honey is going to weigh have a volume of about 700 ml, 700 ml. Okay, 700 to 750 depending upon where it is. So you take about 1 kg of honey and you are going to mix it with about 2 to 3 liters of water. You can use any of your RO water, your water purifier water, distillery water, or even tap water. It doesn't matter that much. You can use any amount of water that you are going to use. So that is there, and we are going to mix it. Now, when it comes to rose petals and flowers, I prefer to strain them, so little bit heat them a little bit. So that way, what happens is the color of it comes out immediately, and I can filter it out. The some traditional recipes, what they say is they'll request you to put in the raw flowers itself, and they allow it to ferment along with that. My problem with that is it takes a lot of time for the flower colors to come in, so I have to keep them in the fermenter, and when I strain them out, I lose a lot of my wine or the meat in the straining process. So the faster way would be that you take some water, take about a liter of water, put your honey inside that. When you're putting the honey, just stir it a little bit. Otherwise, honey will stick at the bottom and it will get charred or caramelized. Okay, and then you can also put your leaves into it, cover it, and just wait for it to increase. Increase it to about 70 degrees Celsius. Okay, when you increase it to 70 degrees Celsius, you would see that the petals will start becoming white, and all the color will come in the water. It will be nice pink color that will have come in the water. Okay, you would like that water, and the aroma will also start coming in. Okay, so you took your honey, you took your water. You can tweak the water quantity. Okay, depending upon how much ratio you're trying to make it. I've known people who make it 1:1. That will be a sweet honey. So that means 1 kg of water, 1 liter of water for every kg of honey. To 1:3, in which 1 kg of honey and 3 liters of water. So in that ratio, any ratio that is there. Typically, I would want my honey to be sweet. The reason is honey, until unless a sweetness is perceived by your tongue, you will not be able to perceive the flavors and the aromas of the honey. Okay, human body looks for, tries to do an association. So for them, when it encounters something sweet, that is the time when it says, okay, now tell me what kind of sweet is it? Is it a fruit sweet? Is it a honey sweet? Is it a sugar sweet? Is it the caramel sweet? So like that, it tries to make a kind of a mapping. So if you are able to make a recipe in which that mapping is done, so which means that you are making a sweet meat, rather a sweet floral meat, rather than the dry meat. The dry meat is also popular, but not in India, or I don't like the dry meat. So depending on you can tweak it, you will get a better taste. Okay, so again I repeat, 1 kg of honey can be used from anywhere between 1 liter of water to 3 liters of water. I'm going on the higher side today, but you can also go for the lower side. The lesser amount of water you will add, the sweeter your honey meat is going to be. Okay, and now comes the next aspect is yeast nutrient. Okay, honey is almost like pure sugar, so it does not have too much of assimilatable nitrogen, YAN or FAN inside that. Okay, YAN and FANs are low, so that is the reason why we add about half a gram to 1/4 of a gram per liter of wine that you are going to make. So we are going to add a little bit of yeast nutrient into it. This is a 5 gram packet. So 5 gram packet can be used for between 10 to 20 liters of honey meat. Okay. Next comes is the sanitizer. All the equipment, the fermenter, the air locks, the equipment. So if you're heating it, the water is okay, but the equipment has to be sanitized. So this is a 25 gram packet. You take about 1 gram of it. Okay, 1 gram would be about half a teaspoon, not tablespoon, half a teaspoon. Yeah, that much quantity you are going to take, and you're going to mix it in water. When you mix it in with a little bit of water, you start getting the firecracker, the sulfur smell. Okay, the firecracker smell. So the sulfur acts as a sanitizer, and with that you can sanitize your fermenter, your airlock, your equipments, your siphons, hydrometer. If you have one, all those things you can do that. We do not use any fining agents in honey. We allow it to fine naturally. This is a honey meat yeast. It will come in a sealed packet. For the demonstration purpose, we have taken an open packet. So this is a yeast. You are going to take a small cup of water. I'll just show it to you. Take a small cup of water. Okay, and in this, so it's a normal sterilized water at room temperature. You do not take hot water. You just take room temperature water, and you're going to pour this entire sachet of honey inside that, honey mead inside that, and you wait for about 15 minutes to 30 minutes. You will see some foam coming on the top, and you are going to pour that entire thing. Okay, now I'm again going to do a quick recap of the things, because we talked about a lot of things. So first list, you're going to take between 1 liter to 3 liters, 1 liter to 3 liters, depending upon what suits you. That much amount of water. You're going to add about 1 gram per liter of spices, and you are going to add about 50 to 200 grams per liter of petals, roots, anything which you believe gives a very good flavors. So flower petals, The two that I like a lot would be your rose and your hibiscus. Both of them gives a little bit light pink touch to it. In the West, you'll get a lot of recipes which talks about dandelion. So dandelion is those white flowers that you'll be getting. They grow in the wild, and they make a very nice dandelion wine from them. Some people have added strawberry. Strawberry is in season right now as we speak, so you can add about 200 grams of strawberry to it. It also gives a nice pinkish hue there. So whatever you're going to do, you're going to put them in a bag, and then you are going to add all of these together, and you're going to heat the water. You're not going to boil the water, please understand. You increase it to 70 degrees Celsius, because the problem with boiling is when you boil the honey, the flavors gets depleted very fast. So you're just going to heat it. And if you want, you can, instead of adding all the honey initially, what you can do is you only heat the water with the spices, and then later on you add the honey as it is cooling down. After this, you're going to cool down the entire thing to 30 degrees Celsius. 30 degrees Celsius, your body temperature is 38 degrees Celsius. You're going to cool to 30 degrees Celsius, which is lesser than the body temperature. Okay. Now, all of this, you're going to put it into your fermenter. Any glass jar would do. If you don't find glass jar, food grade plastic with an airtight lid will also do. You can create a good seal. If you are not able to create a seal, you can use these cling wraps. So cling wraps are the ones that will be there in most of the stores. They are used to pack all the fruits, vegetables जो भी हम लोग कटी हुई फल सब्जियां लेते थे धोने में, तो धोने को कवर करने के लिए हम लोग क्लिंग रैप यूज करते हैं. तो वो आपके किचन में आपको मिल जाना चाहिए क्लिंग रैप. क्लिंग रैप वो प्लास्टिक का ट्रांसपेरेंट सा एक रैप होता है, उससे भी आप सीलिंग क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. सील क्रिएट करके हमने ऊपर छेद करके हमने एयर लॉक लगा दिया. ठीक है. और इसके अंदर हमने हमने ईस्ट को प्रूफ कर रखा था, हमने उसको हाइड्रोलाइज कर रखा था. वो ईस्ट भी हमने डाल दी. तो ईस्ट डाल दिया, हमने शुगर हनी वाटर डाल दिया, और उसके बाद हमने इसको बंद कर दिया. जो मसाले हैं हमने उसके बाद निकाल दिए. द रीजन हम मसालों को हम लोग इनिशियली निकाल देते हैं क्योंकि कुछ मसाले होते हैं वो ज्यादा फ्लेवर्स करते हैं. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज कौन से मसाले आप यूज कर सकते हैं. सो मेरे फेवरेट है ग्रीन कार्डेमम. दो तरह की कार्डेमम आती है, ग्रीन कार्डेमम एंड ब्लैक कार्डेमम. ब्लैक कार्डेमम is good for dry meats, and green cardamom is good for sweet meats. So that is one thing that I like. थोड़ा सा कैम्फर मुझे अच्छा लगता है, फूड ग्रेड कैम्फर आता है वो भी, लेकिन उसका इंश्योर करिएगा कि बहुत बहुत ट्रेस क्वांटिटी में है, क्योंकि वो हल्का सा भी अगर ज़्यादा हो जाता है तो उससे प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है. फिर तीसरा होता है क्लोव्स डाल सकते हैं, सिनेमन डाल सकते हैं. ये दो चीज़ें ये मुझे अच्छी लगती हैं. कुछ लोगों ने सॉफ्ट डाला है, बट सॉफ्ट मिल्क के साथ प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि सॉफ्ट का फ्लेवर्स ओवर पावर करना बहुत इजी हो जाता है. तो वो ब्राइट वाटर टाइप की फीलिंग आ जाती है. तो अगर सॉफ्ट डालते हैं तो इतना हल्का सा डालिएगा कि दूसरे को लगे कि हाँ है, लेकिन उसको ये ना पता चले कि हमने सॉफ्ट डाला है, क्योंकि सॉफ्ट से थोड़ी सी ठंडक आती है. ठीक है. तो वो कर सकते हैं. हरड़ आपको मिलती है काले कलर की, इतनी सी वो डंठल टाइप की होती है. हरड़ क्लोव्स की तरह ही होती है, लेकिन थोड़ी सी मोटी होती है. हरड़ मिल जाए, लिकोरिस बोलते हैं उसको इंग्लिश में, लिकोरिस मिल जाए उसको भी आप डाल सकते हैं. स्टार अनीस कुछ लोग डालते हैं, मैं इसमें नहीं डालता हूँ. मैं अपनी वाइन में डालता हूँ, मीट में नहीं डालता हूँ, लेकिन आप अपने हिसाब से वो कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको रूट्स के साथ एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है तो ननारी रूट, खसखस रूट, खसखस इज ओपियम रूट. तो ये दो रूट्स आर समथिंग विच आपको इजीली मिल जाती है. ननारी आपको आंध्र प्रदेश में मिल जाती है, और नॉर्दर्न इंडिया में और राजस्थान में आपको खसखस मिल जाती है. तो आपको जहाँ पे है रीजन के उस हिसाब से आपको वो थोड़ा थोड़ा सा कर सकते हैं. तो वो थोड़े बहुत वो स्पाइसेस डाल दीजिएगा एंड इसको बंद कर दीजिएगा. 2 दिन तक आपको वेट करना है. 2 दिन के बाद आपको एयर लॉक में बबलिंग स्टार्ट हो जाएगी. आफ्टर अबाउट 1 वीक to 10 days आपका फर्मेंटेशन पूरा हो जाएगा. 1 हफ्ते से 10 दिन में आपका फर्मेंटेशन पूरा हो जाएगा. आप फिल्टर करके उसको एक बॉटल में डाल दीजिएगा. बॉटल में डालने के बाद आप उसको फ्रिज में रख दीजिएगा. जितना ठंडा करेंगे उतना अच्छा है. जब फ्रिज में करते हैं तो उससे क्या होता है कि आपका वाइन को सेटल और क्लियर इजीली हो जाता है. हनी मीट अगर आप फ्रेश बनाएंगे तो करीबन ऐसी रहेगी, क्योंकि इसके अंदर यीस्ट सस्पेंडेड होती है. लेकिन जब आप फ्रिज में डालते हैं तो क्लियर होने लग जाती है. विद इन अ वीक क्लियर होना स्टार्ट हो जाती है. 1 मंथ में मैक्सिमम क्लियर होती है. तो 1 वीक to 1 मंथ आपने फ्रिज में रखा, उसको क्लियर हो गई, और उसके बाद आपने उसको सर्व किया. ना सर्व करने के लिए भी अलग अलग तरीके होते हैं. अगर आपकी ड्राई मीट है, ड्राई मीट यानी उसमें बिल्कुल भी रेजिडुअल शुगर नहीं है, तो आप उसको ठंडा भी सर्व कर सकते हो. अगर आपकी हल्की सी स्वीट मीट है तो उसको थोड़ा सा गर्म करना है. गर्म गैस में वैसे गर्म नहीं करना होता है. आप एक 2 भगोने ले लीजिए. मैं एक मिनट दिखा देता हूँ आपको. 2 भगोने लेने होते हैं. तो आप एक बड़ा भगोना लेंगे और उसके अंदर एक छोटा भगोना लेंगे. डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन के लिए मैं ग्लास ले रहा हूँ, लेकिन आपको छोटे बड़ा और छोटा भगोना भी आपको मिल सकता है, ठीक है। इसके अंदर बड़े भगोने में थोड़ा सा पानी डाल देंगे और उसके बाद आप इसमें रखेंगे। या अल्कोहल को आप डायरेक्टली हीट करेंगे, इसमें मीट में काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग अल्कोहल होता है, इसमें ऑलमोस्ट 18% अल्कोहल तक जा सकता है। तो क्योंकि मीट में बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग अल्कोहल होता है, तो आप इसको डायरेक्टली नहीं यूज़ कर सकते। डायरेक्टली हीट करेंगे तो इश्यूज होते हैं कि सारा अल्कोहल उड़ जाता है, तो आपका वो फ्लेवर्स उसके कान से चले जाते हैं। तो हम इसको थोड़ा सा गर्म करते हैं, ठीक है। बहुत गर्म भी नहीं करते, उबलता हुआ नहीं करते हैं, बट थोड़ा सा गर्म करते हैं, जिससे वो गर्मा गर्म, ठंडी का मौसम वैसे भी चल रहा है, फरवरी का महीना है, तो थोड़ा गर्म आपको मीट आपको अच्छा लगेगा। और स्वीट मीट थोड़ी गर्म और भी अच्छी लगती है, खासकर उसमें अगर स्पाइसेस हो, स्पाइसेस से और गर्माहट लगती है। तो वो वैसे आप कर सकते हैं। और इसको ग्लास जो होता है, वो ग्लास शरी वाला ग्लास अगर आपके पास है तो वो बेस्ट ग्लास है, अदरवाइज कोई भी आपको ट्रांसपेरेंट ग्लास में भी आप उसको सर्व कर सकते हैं। कोई और क्वेश्चंस हैं तो आप प्लीज पूछिएगा। यू कैन राइट टू अस एट brew@aristotle.com। थैंक यू वेरी मच।